What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and this time we're going to check out the history of rugby football. And I've just been doing a little bit of research to try and sort of, just brush up my knowledge on where rugby and also consequently where American football originated from. And it's actually been quite interesting. I found a few things that I didn't really know. I mean, for instance, like the first thing I've got here is I'm just on Wikipedia really, so any of you guys can go and search this up if you want, but I thought, why not do it with some mates, do it together. And then I've got a cool video to show you afterwards, which was actually shown at the last Rugby World Cup, and it's kind of just like a little 3.5 minute long mini production movie where they actually went out and kind of gave you like a cinematic shot of just when the sport of rugby was born, which I think was pretty cool. But anyway, so we're here in Wikipedia, and we're just rugby football, as it's known. Was started around the time of 1845 in Rugby School in Rugby in Warwickshire in England, and many versions of football were played in England at this time. So they ended up splitting rugby, split into rugby and rugby league in, when was it, 1922, and it was over a dispute of the payment of players, and basically making rugby league the first code to turn professional and pay its players. Rugby union turned fully professional in 1995, like I mentioned in my John Lomu video, which was that year where the World Cup, where the All Blacks lost the final to South Africa, John Lomu's first World Cup. But yeah, so essentially they both kind of, they were taken by some English people over to like England and Canada, sorry, America and Canada, and they were playing, they were just playing normal sort of rugby football under the same rugby union rules that were being played back over in Britain. But they ended up, American football evolved in the United States, originating from the sports of soccer and rugby. And the first match of American football was played on November 6th, 1869. So it was definitely a long time ago, between two college teams, but they were under the rules of rugby at the time. So I think they kind of had this strange version of football, which you'll see briefly in the video that I'm about to show you guys. That was it looked quite strange. I couldn't really figure out what it was. I mean, it might be close to like Gaelic football or something like that, which is an Irish version, where you have to basically just pick it up. You can hold it, but then you just have to boot it back to the other team, and I think you have to try, like, it's basically just like punting back and forth, but you have to try and do a bigger punt to force the other team back, and it's eventually until you get them in, you push them back into the end zone, or I think there's a little goal at the end that you have to try and kick the ball through. I couldn't really figure it out, but and I hadn't really heard or seen too much of it. Maybe you guys can figure it out when you see what I mean, see what I'm about to show you. But yeah, basically it was just evolved between two college teams, had a game together. Who was it between? It was between Rutgers and Princeton. So, and the games, like I said before, the game was played under rugby rules. And then obviously, with a couple of other colleges were watching, and then they took it back to theirs. So representatives of Yale, Columbia, Princeton, Rutgers met on October 19th, 1873 to create a standard set of rules for all schools to adhere to. So yeah, that's kind of, very primitive version of American football, is when those colleges got together, made a few rule changes, and then obviously that was the very start of it. Obviously there's plenty more rule changes to come, like the introduction of the snap resulted in unexpected consequences. Prior to the snap, the strategy had been to punt if a scrum resulted in bad field position. However, a group of Princeton players realized that as the snap was uncontested, they now could hold the ball indefinitely to prevent their opponent from scoring. So in 1881, both teams in a game between Yale and Princeton used the strategy to maintain their undefeated records. Each team held the ball, gaining no ground for an entire half, resulting in a 0-0 tie. This block game proved extremely unpopular with the spectators and fans of both teams, so obviously a rule change was necessary, which they brought in, which brought in the 3 downs or tackles to advance the ball 5 yards originally. And Failure to advance the ball the required distance within those 3 downs would result in control of the ball being forfeited to the other team. Okay, so then they obviously, so it's basically you just hand them the ball in that field position of where you tried to get to after 3 downs, and then obviously they would bring in the 4th down where you could punt it, basically to get some field position. So it went from 3 downs to 4 downs. And then they also introduced the legal forward pass was introduced in 1906. I mean, I'm sure many of you guys might know this, but I'm doing this for, you know, some of you that may not, because I know that this is the history of rugby, but at the same time I think it's interesting to go back to the history of American football as well. In 1906, although its impact was initially limited due to the restrictions placed on its use. So other rule changes introduced there included the reduction of the time play from 70 to 60 minutes and the increase of the distance required for a first down from 5 to 10 yards. So, yeah. Oh, to reduce infighting and dirty play between teams, the neutral zone was created along the width of the ball. Scoring was also adjusted. Field goals were lowered to 3 points in 1909 and touchdowns were raised to 6 points in 1912. The field was reduced to 100 yards, but 2 10-yard long end zones were created and teams were given 4 downs instead of 3 to advance the ball in 10 yards. The roughing the passer penalty was implemented in 1914 and eligible players were first allowed to catch the ball anywhere on the field in 1918. So there you have it, guys. So if we come back to the rugby here, it's got a cool little timeline of you know, some things, some major events that have happened, like from 1100 to 1800, many different types of football were played throughout Britain. In 1830, running the ball became common in 1830s at rugby school, and rugby school football became popular throughout the UK in the 1850s and 1860s. So, and in 1845, first written code of rules were adopted at rugby school. Don't worry, guys, I'm not going to go through all of these and read them. But, you know, 1864, the first rugby clubs are formed, followed by hundreds more in Cumberland, Lancashire, and Yorkshire in the 1870s and 1880s. So this is only, you know, a couple of decades before American football started to take off over in America and Canada. So, which is quite interesting. It didn't have to wait that long. But also, if we take it back even further, rugby football was basically derived from soccer. You know, there was ancient Roman games and Greek games where they would kick, you know, like a pigskin around or inflated, or some sort of leather material inflated with air. And they just used to kick them around, and then, yeah, obviously, eventually, in rugby, one guy decided to pick up the ball and run with it. And maybe we should actually just get into that video now, since we're just on the topic. So here we've got, this is actually made by World Rugby, and they made it for the 2015 Rugby World Cup, which was 4 years ago. And yeah, I'll put a link down to the original video if you want to come and read the description and read some comments maybe. And yeah, we'll just get straight into this one and see what it's about. It's pretty cool, it's pretty well done. See those little goals there, little square goals?
Gentlemen, this is not the classroom. There is no formula, and there is no curriculum. We are here to express ourselves and to enjoy ourselves, and we do so together as a team. And we will fight and strain every sinew in our body, but we do so like men, with honor and courage. And you will put the team first, but you will find a way to make your mark and do your duty. You must have courage and commitment and character. Should responsibility make you timid?
No!
And should discipline clip your wings?
No!
No, it shouldn't.
So let's go!
So obviously they were allowed a lot of people. I think it was like 25 people aside. See, the ball is also very rounded there, but not quite a soccer ball. So see what I mean? They're playing soccer there, but they can still pick it up and kick it. So it's a real blend of different sports here.
Alice, kick it! Kick it!
I think if you catch it, you have to kick it. I think that's the rule.
What are you doing, Alice?
Yeah, you can't. You're not allowed to run with it.
Alice, put it down. That's against the rules.
That's it, man. Rugby, American football, being born right here.
What's he doing? Don't worry, Johnny. That'll never take off.
Prince Harry and Johnny Wilkinson. So obviously a part of the royal family, and also Johnny Wilkinson, one of the greatest rugby players ever to live. So whole bunch of royalty right there. A couple of little cameos. Going through some legends now.
Into the hands of Gareth Edwards. He passed one. He passed another. He's moving through the gear. Serves good one back. Gavin Hastings takes the ball. Confident. Beats the first tackle. Storms into the second one. Campaigning. Still David Campaigning. Careful. Unstoppable. Van der Beek Hayden. Breaking through. He's got great support. Quick hands. Oh, long move. Got a long move. What a run. Sensational. Driscoll. Still Driscoll. Private Driscoll taking the ball by himself. Jason Robinson has the ball. Oh, brilliant footwork.
A little bit of a droppy into space there. This was awesome, man. I remember this got me so pumped for the World Cup. There you have it, guys. So that is the basically a little glimpse into what it would have been like to be at that moment when it was created, when it was born. So yeah, there's a couple of other few things to note down here, like in 1900, rugby union features at the 1900 Olympics, and unfortunately it finished in the 1924 Olympics. But now the New Zealand Sevens, the Rugby Sevens is part of the Olympics now, and Fiji actually won the inaugural tournament, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I think Northern Union changes its name to the Rugby Football League, the name used for the sport in Australia, so that's about rugby league. Yeah, and for some reason Rugby League just took off majorly in Australia. Rugby Union is more popular in New Zealand, and Rugby League is generally more popular in Australia. And with saying that, the Australian, obviously the best team in the world at Rugby League, and New Zealand, the All Blacks, are obviously the best team in the world at Rugby Union. So yeah, there you have it, guys. That's about it. I mean, the rest is history all from there. You know, a lot of it's I'll go over some of the stuff in future videos. You know, I'll address certain things, like I'm definitely still going to make a video on the 1995 World Cup final, the big scandal between the All Blacks and South Africa, what happened the night before the game. So that's pretty interesting. Don't do any research, guys, if you don't know about it. Wait for my video so you can find out right here on this channel, and I'll definitely make it a goodie for you. And yeah, that's about it, guys. If you have any questions, or you think that I missed anything, or I didn't cover anything that you wanted to know, you know, don't hesitate to comment down below and ask me, and I'll definitely get around to replying to all the questions you guys have. So once again, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for clicking on my video. Really appreciate it. You know, I am enjoying this series, and I'm definitely going to keep going, because you know, we've got to build up now. We're only about 6 months out from the 2019 Rugby World Cup, and it's going to be absolutely awesome. I can't wait. I'm pumped for it. So yeah. Thanks, guys. Smash the like button, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you want to see more. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later.